Khan. Hey, Shalom, Shalom, Akiyam. First and foremost, I would like to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakah, Kodash. I would also like to give a double honors to the elders and apostles of the Great Millstone, where I learned this 144% truth. I would also like to say peace and salutations to the hopeful elect, starting with the 144,000 men of Israel, which consists of the servants, the prophets, whom have been ordained since the foundations of this earth to sing this new song, which comes in the form of this gospel, which will be preached throughout all four corners of this earth and rest upon the ears of the innumerable multitude, men, women, and children of Israel, who may be scattered throughout all four corners of this earth. Shalom. Hey, Shalom, beloved Akiyam and Akwab. It's just Bayan back again through the spirit and power and mercy of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, our power. And I just wanted to get into a brief live stream. I got a little bit of time, kind of off to a late start this morning, but through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, I was able to get the ball rolling. But needless to say, you can see the thumbnail. Now I want to tap into this piece of information that came across my feed on YouTube. I forgot, it was from a brother. Forgot who exactly, but I took a snapshot of it and I sent it to the brothers and my brothers in the chat, you know, brothers in the camp, brother Araya and Shakal, what have you. But needless to say, tapping into Mount Rushmore, man. And when you tap into the history of Mount Rushmore, all right, it's part of America's filthy, disgusting, bloodthirsty takeover, all right, of this land. All right, this is part of his history of him raping, robbing, stealing, and killing, all right, from the so-called Native Americans, man, the tribe of Gad, okay? And we're gonna bring this out through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, as we often say, as the brothers say, court is in session, man. All right, and you have the two faithful witnesses, all right, the southern and northern kingdom, the servants, the prophets, bringing forth evidence, testimony regarding our enemies, man, starting with Esau, Edom, the self-proclaimed white man, okay, along with star witnesses, all right, which consists of Esau's own tongue falling upon himself and other heathen bringing out information on him, man. Okay, see, now we're living at a time now where Esau, Edom, the self-proclaimed white man, he's no longer this Superman hero, all right, type of charisma and stigma that's around him. No, man. The world has come to the conclusion that he's the root of the problem, all right? He's the reason why the earth is operating under a diabolical vibration. Okay, and ultimately in efforts for things to be normal, okay, Esau has to be stopped. All right, first and foremost, man. You see, he's in the time where he's being pinpointed and targeted, man. All right, he's no longer in a position where he's that guy, you know, that Johnny Bravo of society. No, man. Okay, shame is presenting itself to him now. As a matter of fact, when you go to prophecy, man. Let's go to the book of Habakkuk. Habakkuk 2:16. And it reads, the book of Habakkuk chapter 2 and verse 16, and it reads, thou art filled with shame for glory, man. All right, and when you tap into this word, simple Google definition, shame, right? As a matter of fact, let's go here. Bear with me. Let me turn this volume up.
Shame.
Shame, right?
Shame.
Bear with me. All right, so when you get this word shame, under a noun, okay, it goes into a painful feeling of humiliation or distress, right, caused by the consciousness of wrong or foolish behavior, okay? Humiliation, loss of face, you see, embarrassment, indignity, right? So this is, hey, he's in a position where his pride is being brought low. Okay, his pride is being brought low, man. And the world is looking at him like the third-party man that he is. Okay, this is why these nations are cutting ties off with the West, man. All right, starting with the West. And Amalek's being put out on the forefront. All right, these small hats, man, these international banking families, man, they're no longer able to hide themselves. All right, because information is coming out that they've been the root, all right, of all the problems on the planet. You see? Look at Habakkuk 2:16. Thou art filled with shameful glory, right? Drink thou also, and let thy foreskin be uncovered, right? You're being fully exposed, man. Your private parts are being exposed, right? All your little dirty little secrets, right? The cup of the Lord's right hand shall be turned unto thee, man. Which the cup of the Lord goes into his indignation. Okay, ultimately it boils down to you going into captivity, okay, and receiving the righteous judgment. Okay, that's written. Hey, all you heathen, but starting with Esau, Edom. Okay, look, and shameful spewing shall be on thy glory, man. Okay, ultimately why? Okay, let's go to Obadiah real quick. See, Esau thought everything he did to the tribes, all right, was going to be swept under the rug, and he was going to be able to rewrite history or paint a picture, as if he was justified, okay, and bringing forth these atrocities upon the tribes. No, man. Nope. There was going to come a time where you were going to be put out there in the forefront, okay, for your abominations, man. All right, and you were going to be looked at as the problem of the earth, the cancer of the planet, man. And ultimately, scriptures tell us that you will be chased out of the world, man. The book of Obadiah, chapter 1 and verse 10, and it reads, for thy violence against thy brother Jacob, man. Okay, for your violence, you so-called white people, man. You self-proclaimed white people, man. Okay, for your violence against your brother Jacob, all right, which is us so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, and there's a long history of it. There's no other nation, okay? Put it like this, right? For you unbelievers out there, you niggas that got something to say, but you really ain't saying nothing. Take a look in history, man. All right? What two nations out of the 18 nations, you got to ask yourself this and be honest with yourself. What two nations out of the 18 nations, okay, have a track record, okay, of being the worst enemies the planet has ever seen, man? Even to this very moment, when you take a look into what Trump's doing, man, okay, with his deportation campaign and his sending forth the National Guard campaign, okay, it's just, he's self-proclaimed white man, all right, Esau, right, and Jacob, our so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, man. There's been a long, drawn-out conflict, okay, between those two specific nations, man. All right, what was Rebecca told? Two nations should be in thy womb, man. All right, these two nations have been going at it since the womb. All right, and again, there's a detailed track record of history proving this, man. Okay, proving this, man. Look, for thy violence against thy brother Jacob, shame shall cover thee, man. You see, so what you so-called white people have done to us so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, shame's gonna cover you for that. Hey, the Lord's gonna make sure it does, man. The Lord's bringing that black cloud over you, man. Okay, the Lord's gonna bring the curses of Deuteronomy 28, 16 through 68 upon you, man. Okay, as it tells us in Deuteronomy 30 and 30 and 7. Okay, and right now we're seeing the beginning stages of it, man. We're seeing the beginning stages of the downfall of you Edomites, man. You have been revealed. All right, we're no longer in a time of revealing you. You've been revealed. You're revealed, man. The world knows who you are, man. You know who you are. Okay, and you're scared. You're at the point now where you're scared, man. And it's this word. It's the testimony of the Lord, Yahweh Shai, man. Yahweh Shai that put you on blast. You see, this is what put you on blast right here, man. As it tells us in 2 Thessalonians, man. You should be how's it go? You should be consumed by the spirit of the Lord's mouth, man. Right? The servants, the prophets bringing it out. And then you're going to be destroyed by the brightness of his coming ultimately, man. But look at the end result of your shame. I'm going to read this from the top. Obadiah 1 and 10. For thy violence against thy brother Jacob, Shame shall cover thee, and thou shalt be cut off forever. Okay, that's the end game for Esau, man, and it's all over the Bible. It's mentioned twice in this chapter dedicated to him. All right, you can read it in Numbers. We were told, I believe, in Exodus, through Moses, by Yahweh Bashim Shai, never forget this dude. Okay, it's all over the place, man, that you're gonna be cut off, man. Okay, Balaam had a vision of Amalek being cut off, Esau, Edom, and Amalek, man. Okay, it's all over the scriptures. All right, you are going to be cut off. That's your fate for what you've done to the tribes, man. For your blasphemy of the Holy Spirit of our Lord. For you destroying the earth. Okay? The Lord has a controversy with you, man. And now, again, court is in session. And we're going to bring out some evidence right here. Now, through the Spirit, right? Again, it came across my feed regarding Mount Rushmore. That's what triggered this lesson. Right, well, what I want to do, I want to get this information real quick. I went on, now a quick background. Let's just get this real quick. A simple Google search of Mount Rushmore, right? When you just type in Mount Rushmore faces. Let me get this first real quick. It says what? Mount Rushmore. Now we know it evolved around gold. Okay, when these Edomites found out that gold was on the land over there, is when they broke the treaty with the Sioux Lakota and descended upon them and started killing them, man. All right, but we're gonna tap into it. Look, Esau thinks we forgot about this. We didn't forget. Okay, the court is in session, man. And look at Mount Rushmore National Memorial in South Dakota, Black Hills, features 60-foot tall faces of 4 U.S. presidents carved into the mountainside. The presidents are from left to right: George Washington, Thomas Jefferson, Theodore Roosevelt, and Abraham Lincoln. Right, all enemies of Israel, right? All enemies of us so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, and their history testifies against them. Right, look at the sculpture was designed by Gutzon Borglum, right, and completed in 1941. The faces represent the first 150 years of American history and culture, which was diabolical, man. Oh, and for those of you out there that don't believe me, so what I did, right, I went to ChatGPT. And I put, what did I put in? I said, was Mount Rushmore stolen, right, from the Sioux Lakota tribe? ChatGPT said this: yes. Now we're gonna stop right there. This man's own technology is snitching on him, man. So even if he wanted to deny it, which he can't, because his actions later on, with him trying to pay off the Sioux Lakota tribe, proves that he's guilty. But anyways, we'll get there. So I again, let's repeat that. I typed in, was Mount Rushmore stolen from the Sioux Lakota tribe? ChatGPT said yes. Okay? The land where Mount Rushmore is located, the Black Hills of South Dakota, was taken from the Lakota Sioux tribe. Okay? Who took it? The niggas that you see erecting on that mount, man. The Edomites, man. Look, our arch enemy, Jake. All right? The same Edomites that are about to descend upon you wicked YNs in Chicago. And this is a central point of historical injustice and ongoing controversy. Right? Look it. Where was it at? Right here. Look at this. Legal recognition of the theft, right? In 1980, the U.S. Supreme Court ruled in United States versus Sioux Nation of Indians that the Black Hills were taken illegally. Okay? They were taken illegally and awarded the Sioux Nation $105 million in compensation. The value of the land plus interest, man. But what about the lives that were lost? What about 300 per dead Sioux tribe Native American, man? What about them? What about the blood? See, what you Edomites don't understand is that your money, all right, your riches can't buy you out of the calamity that you fallen victim to, man. With you putting your hands on the Yahweh Bashim Yahushai's people, man. None of the money can't, but this can't be, no. Money can't buy you out. Look, But check out the spirit that's on the Lakota, that was on the Lakota. Look, the Sioux Lakota refused the money, right? Saying the Black Hills are not for sale, man. All right, they have continued to demand the return of the land instead of monetary compensation. Okay, the fund, which has grown with interest, now exceeds $1 billion, but it remains untouched, man. So the Sioux Lakota are like, no, we don't want your money, man. We want our land back. Okay, but again, the curses, man. We're under the curses. This is why Esau was granted access to be able to take this land from them, man, from us, because we're under the curses, man. But still, there's a price to pay for what Esau has done. Okay? There's a price to pay for what Esau has done. Here it is. They put themselves in a snare. They're trying to buy off the land from the Sioux Lakota, man. Come on, man. Look, and this information that popped up on my feed, it goes into this. Let me get this real quick. Where is it at? See, so even ChatGPT snitching on them, man. Yes, they did steal the land. And the question is, who? You will find out it's none other than the Edomites. Now, real quick. Now, this fact right here behind the history of the Mount Rushmore, right? It says this. This is something you've never learned in school. Look it. Before the president's faces were carved into Mount Rushmore, it was called the Six Grandfathers. Okay, part of the sacred Black Hills of the Sioux Lakota tribe. That's sacred land to them. That's why they don't want no money. It's deeper than a couple of dead presidents on some paper to the Sioux Lakota, right? And I respect that. Look, the U.S. government seized the land illegally in 1877. Now, this is a part of America's history, right? That they try to. You see how they dressed it up on Google? Like it's something to stand firm for. Nah, man. That's a token, okay, to the atrocities that Esau has done. Okay? Mount Rushmore with those four heretics, man. Up there, man. Look. Look it. A government seized the land illegally in 1877 after gold had been discovered there, man. You see, gold was discovered there. And this is what drove Esau to break any treaty he had with the Sioux Lakota and become a demon that he is. Okay? As the scriptures tell us, man, this man, he imagined it to throw thee in a ditch, man. Don't say, matter of fact, let me go get that real quick. Bear with me. Sirach, I think that's Sirach 12. Sirach 12, the book of Ecclesiasticus, also known as the book of Sirach, chapter 12 and verse 14, and it reads, an enemy, and we're going to go back to that piece of information too, an enemy speaketh sweetly with his lips, right, through his various little treaties he had put forth, right, just to try to dress it up as if he's with you. Look, but in his heart, in his mind, in his lob, he imagineth how to throw thee into a pit. Okay? Wounded Knee Massacre. Look into that. He did that literally, man. All right, look. He will weep with his eyes. But if he find opportunity, he will not be satisfied with blood. You see, because ultimately he wants your resources, he wants your land, and he wants your heritage, man. As it tells us when you go to the book of Micah. Micah the second. Let me go there, get that real quick in Micah. See? The scriptures pinpoint and target this man. Okay? Look at Micah 2 and 1. Woe to them that advise iniquity, right? Which is evil. Right? Destruction unto you, man. That advise iniquity, man. And work evil upon their beds, right? This is talking to the global elite. They're in their beds. They're in their comfort. Right? They're in a position of sovereignty. Look, when the morning is light, they practice it because it is in the power of their hand. See? Look. And they covet fields, right? They take fields and take them by violence, man. All right? And this is what they did with Mount Rushmore. We're going to go back to it. Look, in houses and take them away. So they oppress a man and his house, even a man and his heritage, man. Okay? This man is a destroyer of the Lord's heritage, man. And the Lord even mentions that. That's in the scriptures as well. He's against Esau, the destroyer of his heritage, man. You see? And there's a price to pay for what Esau has done. This is what he has done, man. Okay? And he thinks he's going to be able to just buy off his atrocity, man. Nah, man. There's no buying this off. When you go back, let's go back to the information. Right? And it reads, after gold had been discovered there, right? So after gold had been discovered there, right? That's when he was driven to do this. President Grant secretly ordered the army not to protect local tribes, as bounty hunters collected up to $300 for each Native American deleted. Okay? You see? When gold was found out to be up there, and this is no surprise, because we know gold is money is an idol to Esau. You see, it's no surprise, because when you go into what's his name? Is it Eliphaz? Is it Amalek's father, Eliphaz? Let me see something real quick. I believe it goes into my God is fine gold, if I'm not mistaken. Let's look at something real quick. Bear with me. We got to go to the genealogy. Let's go to Genesis 36 real quick. Esau's sons, Eliphaz, the son of Adar. Okay, here we go. Real quick, let me go to the blue letter. Now, when you go to Genesis 36, I'm going to read verse 10. Verse 12 is the point. We're going to go to blue letter. These are the names of Esau's sons. Eliphaz, the son of Adar, the wife of Esau. Right? Reuel, the son of Bashemath, the wife of Esau. Right? And the sons of Eliphaz were Teman, Omar, Zepho, and Gatam, and Kenaz. Verse 12. And Timnah was concubine to Eliphaz, Esau's son. Right? And she bare to Eliphaz Amalek. Okay, so Amalek is a son of a concubine, as we should know, right? For those of you new listeners, now you know, right? So here it is. Amalek is why you think he's handling the blessing, the birthright, the way he's handling it, right? The blessing. Excuse me. Why do you think he's handling the blessing the way he's handling it? The blessing that Esau received in Genesis the 27th chapter. It's resting upon Amalek. Look how he's handling it. He's heaping up all the blessing. Where you got regular Joe six-pack Edomites out here starving, man, stomachs touching their back. They're working and slaving with the rest of the nations. You know, where they should be sitting up on high, man, living it up. Okay? Amalek is a son of a concubine. Okay? He shouldn't be in a position of no blessing. But anyways, look. Verse 12. And Timnah was concubine to Eliphaz, Esau's son, and she bare to Eliphaz Amalek. Right? These were the sons of Adar, Esau's wife. Now, real quick. It's been a while since I want to say it's Eliphaz. Let me see something real quick. I can't remember the last time I looked that up. But it's in the mental Rolodex.
Age 464. Eliphaz.
My memory serves me right. Let me turn this down. Kalaiha Bashem Yahushai. When you go to the biblical usage, right? Eliphaz, Esau's son, right? Father of Teman. Look it. Eliphaz's name means this. All right? My God is fine gold. Okay? My God is fine gold. They have this is why Esau, Edom, starting with Amalek, they have a natural covetous spirit towards resources, man. Why do you think he's hell bent on heaping up everything. Okay? Why do you think they're heaping up all that money amongst themselves, man? You know, so much money that it's liquid, man. Okay? They're covetous, they're rapacious, man. When it comes to money, when it comes to resources, it's their God. My God is fine gold, is Eliphaz, which is Amalek's father's name, meaning. Okay? Hence why these people have this type of covetous behavior. Okay? They've never changed, man. This is them. Okay? This is them. Another token we can pinpoint and use to hone in on them. Okay? Look, let's go back to the information here. Let's read up a little bit. Right? The U.S. government seized the land illegally in 1877 after gold had been discovered there. President Grant secretly ordered the army not to protect local tribes as bounty hunters collected up to $300 for each Native American killed, man. The carving of 4 presidents into the hills took place in the 1920s, funded in part by guess who? Guess who funded it? The Ku Klux Klan. Okay, they helped fund Mount Rushmore with those 4 heretics' faces being put up there. Okay? And we know the Ku Klux Klan, that's where you get your police force. You see? Enemies are all around us, Jay. You don't know that? Okay? But this type of atrocity right here is the reason, one of the reasons why the kingdom's going to be translated from one people. Let's go get that real quick. The book of Ecclesiastes is also known as the book of Sirach, chapter 10, right, in verse 8. And it reads, because of unrighteous dealings, and we're reading about one now. Injuries, we're reading about one now, right? And riches got by deceit, we're reading about one right now. Okay? The kingdom is translated from one people to another. Okay? And pursuing the Sirach, Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. That's going to be that kingdom translation. Okay? The kingdom is going to be translated from Esau to Jacob. Okay? The kingdom being global governance, man. And in our case, beyond. Okay? In our case, beyond, man. Right? And this is the reality, man. Hey, there's hell to pay, man, for what you've done, Evil E. And you're not going to get away. Okay? You're not going to get away. There's a debt that you got to pay, and you can't pay it with any type of resources or money. You see? All the bloodshed, all the life you've taken, you already know. The Lord's going to require that, man. This is why there's going to be as it tells us in Isaiah 34. Let's go here. And I'm going to be late for work, but guess what? It's all good. The book of Isaiah chapter 34. Bear with me. Bear with me real quick. There we go. This is the book of Isaiah chapter 34 and verse 6, and it reads, the sword of the Lord, Yahweh, is filled with blood. Right? And guess whose blood is going to be filled with? Let's continue to read. It is made fat with fatness, and with the blood of lambs and goats, with the fat of kidneys, of rams. Right? And this is allegorical speech for you people here in Babylon the Great. Okay? America is going to be an altar. What do you do on the altar? You sacrifice. Okay? Oh, let's continue on. For the Lord Yahweh had a sacrifice in Basra, man. All right? Basra being the capital city of Edom, which will be likened unto America today. How do we know that? Genesis, the 36th chapter, tells us what? Esau is Edom. Okay, wherever Esau sets his throne up at, which we know he's setting up through America via Washington, D.C., okay, the military sector, okay, of his diabolical system, okay, America is where he sets his throne up. Okay, so America, this will be like it under Basra. Prophetically speaking, this sacrifice is going to come here. For the Lord Yahweh has a sacrifice in Basra, man, right? In a great slaughter, all right? In the land of Idumea, which is, again, the Greek and Latin way to say Edom, all right? This is talking about America, if you can believe that or not. Even if you don't believe it, you're going to find out soon, right? Why, though? Why is this great sacrifice in Basra going to occur? Why? Why, Lord? Why is this going to happen? Why are you going to do such a great slaughter, man, to this land where all the blood, where Revelations 17 tells us that this land is soaked with the blood of the saints? Why, Lord? Isaiah 34:8. For it is the day of the Lord Yahweh's vengeance, man, and the year of recompenses, man, for the controversy of Zion. You can keep your money. Okay? Hey, the Sula Koda is in the right spirit. They don't want your money. They don't want your 1 billion. You can hold that. Okay? Because what you've done can't be paid back in money. It has to be paid back in blood. Okay? Let me close out with this. See? It has to be paid back in blood and the loss of life. Okay? The Lord's going to bring that, man. You just heard it. It's written. And you don't understand it. That's on you. It's going to happen. Scriptures can't be broken. Right? Let's go here. We'll close out with this. And this is how we're going to get the victory as a nation, Akiyam and Akwab. All right? This is how we're going to get the victory. Bear with me. We're going to get the victory through our power. Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, man. Through the divine visitation he's going to bring upon Esau. Okay? Let's go right here. Bear with me, Akiyam and Akwab. Let me see, I know I'm going right past it. Here we go. The book of Genesis chapter 49 and verse 19, it reads, Gad, right? Which is us so-called Native Americans, right? Gad, a troop, shall overcome him, man. And that troop was Esau. And we read a portion of history of him overcoming us, man. Right? Regarding Mount Rushmore. Right? Over there in South Dakota. But he shall overcome at the last. And how are we going to overcome? Again, through our power. Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. That's how we're going to win. And we know this. Right? Let me hit the comment board real quick. I got a dip. Hey, the water for tuning in. Hey, shalom to you, beloved Akiyam and Akwab. Hey, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. Baraka Thumb. All right, to you, beloved Akiyam and Akwab. Let me see here. I'm going to close out with this right here through the spirit. Hey, Kazakban Yahweh, the Shalom, beloved Akia. Hey, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. Barakatat, the water for your precepts, Malak. You're always appreciated, brother. You're always appreciated. I'm going to close out with this right here. Amos 1 and 11, one of my favorite precepts, and it reads, Thus saith the Lord Yahweh, for 3 transgressions of Edom, 3 going into understanding, and for 4 I will not turn away my punishment thereof, 4 going into mercy, which is not granted access to Esau. Okay, pursuant to the Zondervan Bible Compact Dictionary and the book of Hebrews. Right? Because he did pursue his brother with the sword, he pursued us with the sword. We just brought out evidence proving that. One portion of evidence. There's many pieces of evidence we could have gone into. Right? And did cast off all pity and never showed any mercy. This is why when mercy is not going to rejoice in judgment when it falls upon him. Right? Continuing on. And his anger did tear perpetually, man. He never stopped hating us, man. As we can see today. Okay? As he descends upon the southern and northern kingdom real time. Right? And he kept his wrath forever, man. And that's exactly why he's going to be cut off forever, as the scriptures tell us. I'm going to leave you with that, beloved Akiyam and Akwab. Lord willing, you were edified. Lord willing, you were spiritually fed. through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. Stay prayed up, fast as well as pray. Don't give up. Keep fighting. Yahweh Bashim Yahushai is on his way. He's gonna repay this man for what he had done, man. Guaranteed, man. Granted. Granted that, you know, Lord willing, I wanted to say that we had to see it. You know, guaranteed the visitation's coming though. Okay, it's set in stone, man. All the signs are there. Okay, you got Esau shooting missiles at chariots, and they're bouncing off the chariot. All right, there's footage out there on that. Esau's through, man. The curse has the curse of the Lord has entered into the house of the thief. Okay, and we're about to win, Akiyama Nakwa. Believe it. Believe that when I tell you. I'm gonna leave you with that through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. And with that, I'm gonna give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakah, Kwadash. A double honors to the beloved elders and apostles of Great Millstone, where I learned this 144% truth. Hey, Shalom.